Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff Escow.
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports World Radio. Glad everybody could be with us today. It is Thursday. We got a jam-packed show like we do each and every day here at Sports World Radio. Glad to be back. Had some major back problems yesterday. Still dealing with major back pain. But I'm doing a lot better today. Okay, so SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to the show. Always the place to listen to the show. You want to hang out in our chat room? Our chat room's over at Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. Go over there, get yourself a free account, come on over and hang out in the chat room. If you're trying to figure out where the chat room is and you're hanging out with us live, you see a little bubble there. You click the bubble and the freaking chat room will bloop, open up for you. How about that? Just go bloop. It'll open right up for you. Okay, Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us over there on Twitter. Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. What else would it be? Want to get in touch with the show? 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715. There's still time, boys and girls, still time to join our NFL Pick'em group. Head on over to our Facebook page. Right at the top, it's pinned there. Join our Pick'em group. If you like our page, join our Pick'em group. It's right there on Facebook. All the particulars on how to join. Unfortunately, don't send me an email because I'm doing the show, and by the time we're done with the show, the game is on and it'll be too late. So you have to go over to Facebook. If you liked our page, our Facebook page over there, Sports World Radio, then it's on the top. It's pinned right there to join the league. So head on over there if you haven't joined yet. Please get in. You have about an hour and a half or so to get on in. So hurry up and do it. We got about 18, 19 people in it right now. It's going to be a lot of fun this year. We're going to have a blast. With all that being said, let's bring in the co-host, Sean Mann, the Update Man. What's going on there, buddy?
I am doing well, Jeff, and welcome back, Sports World Radio. I hope you're feeling better too, Jeff, and everything is going well for you. Right now, the weather is probably about in the 80s and stuff, about 82 degrees, so it's very, very nice. It was cool this morning. Had a good day of work. NFL football is back at 6:07 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:07 p.m. on the West. September 4th, 2014, Thursday, opening night, and of course, yes, college football. And Jeff and I, before we came on the air, Jeff said, heck with college football. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you, man? How's the weather out there?
Weather's good, like 82 degrees. It's really nice and cool. Bet be back up in the 80s this weekend.
I bet you are. I bet you're happy to be back up in the 80s.
Better than the 90s when it was so hot, but
yeah,
what do you expect?
A lot better than the 90s when it was so hot. I'm heading over to our pro football pick'em right now. I want to see how many.
Get in there soon. Yep.
Yeah, I want to see how many people we got in there. Yeah. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 lucky people. Nice. 18 people in. I made my picks already for this game. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Okay, so what do you got for the first topic of the day, my friend?
All right, before we do that, I'd like to save the NFL when we bring Frank Sprinkle in here, the windbag, what do you call him? We're going to start in Major League Baseball. As you all know, this another team that has made a surprising news, not just the Kansas City Royals, but how about this? If the Seattle Mariners can get into the AL wildcard game against John Lester and the Oakland Athletics, they'll be plenty confident with King Felix on the mound. Kyle Seager and Corey Hart homered leading off the seventh inning to back Felix Hernandez's stellar start, and the Mariners rallied to beat the A's 2-1 on Wednesday to win the 3-game series between the playoff contenders. Jeff, I got to ask you, where I live in Seattle, best thing that's happened here since actually where I live in Coeur d'Alene, it's the best thing that's happened around this area since the Mariners were so good back in the Ichiro days. Do you still think, Jeff, and believe that the Mariners are going to be the team that will make the playoffs?
No.
You don't think they might have a shot?
Seattle? Seattle,
I think, may have a shot.
What do you people-
75 and 63. They're only sitting a game behind Detroit for the second American League wildcard spot. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a heck of a last few weeks to see who gets the final 2 American League wildcard spots. I'm going to say it now. The Indians, the Yankees, the Rays, the Blue Jays, those 4 teams, I'm going to knock them out and say they will not make the playoffs. And right now it's going to be a battle between Detroit and Seattle, in my opinion, as the 2 teams battling it out for number 2. I think Oakland still has a shot at the number 1 wild card spot.
Yeah, well, they're up by 3 games. So, but I think Detroit's going to take it. I don't think Seattle's got enough. I think Detroit's got more than Seattle.
It's so amazing, too, when you think about it, Jeff, that Oakland, for a while, we all felt throughout the season that they were going to run away with this thing. But all of a sudden, they have just been losing ground, and then the Angels have been able to overtake them, and that sweep really hurt the Oakland Athletics. I think that's going to hurt them big time.
If Seattle makes the playoffs, then you got 3 teams from the AL West in the playoffs. The Angels, Oakland, and Seattle.
Yep.
That's sad. You know? That's sad.
But you're getting your wish if the Red Sox and Yankees don't make the playoffs,
Well,
which is going to happen. I really do not see them, the Yankees, even though they're in the wild card. I know the Red Sox are out of it, but I'm going to say the Yankees will not be the team that makes the playoffs, and everybody's going to kind of find it weird. But, Jeff, I think it was bound to happen. I think everybody was saying there's going to maybe come a day when both the Red Sox and Yankees will not be in the playoffs, and Frank and I did a story on that last week.
You have to find a way to talk about your Red Sox. Somehow, some way, you always end up talking about your Red Sox, don't you?
No, I'm just pointing out the facts that this is big news about the fact that these 2 superpower teams who have the most money for both teams will not be in the playoffs, and people will be saying, well, why didn't that happen? Because both teams know that the age is caught up with them. If you look at that American League East, Baltimore running away with this thing. And I think, the O's could have a very good chance to win the whole thing. First time in 31 years. Buck Showalter's really done a job with that team.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. Not one bit.
Yeah. 1983 was the last time they won that.
Not one bit. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Boston and the Yankees are playing today, aren't they?
Yeah, and I watched the game last night, and then they were saying that both teams have uncertain futures heading into 2015. We'll see, but, right now everybody, I think, is focusing on the Royals and seeing how well the Royals are going to make it. Kansas City will make the playoffs. I'm saying it right now. And if they don't, I think we'll all be shocked because they're a much improved team.
They're only a game and a half up on Detroit. So either Kansas City or Detroit or Seattle is going to make the playoffs. One of those 3 teams. Either Kansas City is going to win it as a division, and Detroit's in, or Seattle comes and beats Detroit, or Detroit's going to win that division. And Kansas City. See, I think Detroit and Kansas City are going. I don't think Seattle's going to make it. I think Detroit and Kansas City are going. I don't think Seattle's going.
I don't know. I still would not rule them out. The Mariners have been a very impressive story. Everybody didn't know if they were going to be big, especially with the addition of Robinson Cano. And I can agree with Encyclopedia Man that I think I've been saying to him that, and I can agree with him that we're both getting sick of seeing the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers, we'll see, because what we're getting at here, Jeff, is the fact is we're getting down the last few weeks. If Detroit can get into the playoffs, know how you are about ifs, it has to depend on how well Justin Verlander can pitch for them, because Verlander he has not been very effective for the Detroit Tigers. He does not look very good for them.
Well, neither has their pitching staff at all. Why do you think they went and got David Price, and then he lost the game the other day?
Yeah, and it's just like how Oakland is. They let the Angels hang around, and then the Angels overtook them. Same thing in the American League Central. Detroit felt that they had it all won with David Price, but the Royals have found a way to just stay right there and be in a very tight American League Central. And you got to remember, everybody will be focusing on the 6 games that those two teams play between Kansas City and Detroit.
So there's about 24 to 25 games left for each team, around about there, right around there.
Yeah.
So a lot can happen in the last 25 games. You know, a lot's going to happen.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. There is, Jeff, you're right. 24 games left in the Major League Baseball
24,
season.
25, right in that neighborhood there. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. So every game is important now. You got Washington, who only needs 17. Their magic number is 17. Baltimore's magic number is 16. They're the only 2 teams that have magic numbers. Everybody else is still fighting like crazy.
Hey, Adrian, you're always welcome, buddy. Don't worry. If you're busy, you're busy. Welcome to the show,
Adrian.
buddy. I was glad to hear your sports perspective.
Hey, Adrian, did you get into the football pick'em pool? Our football pick'em pool? Better hurry up, man. Better hurry up there.
And it is 15 minutes after the hour. We have lots more to get to for Sports World Radio. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet. I guarantee you'll never hear a sports show like this anywhere. Tell all your friends about it. You know why? Because we do this show each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
figure it out for yourself.
That's right, boys and girls. Now listen. We got a couple of hours left. I said this at the top of the show, and I'm going to remind you again, and I'm going to remind you every break until I can't remind you no more. NFL season starts tonight. If you want to get involved in our NFL football pick'em pool, it's too late to send me an email. So what I want you to do, if you're on Facebook, head on over to Facebook and go like our fan page at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. When you like our page, pinned right at the top of the page is a post with all the information. There's a link to join, the group ID is there, and the password is there. Go ahead and join our group. You got what, about an hour left? Got about an hour left. So hurry up and join into the group, kids. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. You hear that, Adrian? I was talking to you. So if you haven't liked our Facebook fan page, head on over to facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Like our page. And then right at the top of the post. Hey, Sean, are you on Facebook right now?
No, I'm not.
Would you get on Facebook for me?
All right.
Or Josh or whoever's out there. Go on Facebook and go to our Sports World Radio fan page and make sure, you'll probably have to scroll down a little bit or whatever, but make sure that I have pinned to the posted. I pinned it to the top, so it's the first thing everybody sees when they go there is the information on how to join our league. Just make sure it's there for me. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. Our next story that we get to at 20 minutes past the hour, Josh Gordon will spend his year off of football as a car salesman. Some stories are so strange you don't even know where to start telling it. So let's start with the simple facts.
Hold on. Time out. He's going to sell cars because he can't play football?
Yeah, because remember, he got suspended for the whole year. So he's going to spend the whole year working as a car salesman in Cleveland.
And he doesn't get paid from NFL because he's suspended, right?
Right.
So he's got to make money somehow, correct?
Yeah, he has to make revenue so he can eat and keep paying off his apartment or his house bill or whatever.
And he's going to be a car salesman.
Yep.
That's that's great. Where is that? In Cleveland? Is he going to do it in Cleveland?
Yeah, ESPN reported that Gordon, who is suspended all season due to the failed marijuana test, will start working as, how about this, the Goodwill ambassador for the Sherishone Auto Group in Ohio, and part of his duties will be as an on-floor salesman.
Oh, dude, do you know how many cars that dude's going to sell? Do you know how many freaking cars that dude's going to sell? How many people are going to want to say, I bought a car from an NFL player Josh Gordon? Get the hell out of here. That's awesome. I have an article up that's telling me, I'm looking at it right now. That's freaking awesome. That is great. I love that, dude. Do you know how many people are going to have do you know how many pictures and autographs he's going to sell when he's selling cars?
A lot.
That's going to be freaking awesome. What a coup for that freaking group right there. For the Sacronone Auto Group in Ohio. Going to be a part-time duties, will be as an on-floor. That's way to go, Josh. He's not just sitting around taking the year off doing nothing. He's going to work as a Goodwill ambassador and a part-time car salesman. That's awesome. I think that's awesome.
Myth goes, I guess Josh Gordon will have a new career beyond an NFL paycheck.
I think that's awesome.
That's very hysterical. So that's what Josh Gordon will be doing since he got suspended the whole year. Gordon thought about this. He also thought about playing, Jeff, in the CFL this season, but the Browns wouldn't let him out of his contract to do that.
Who what? Say that again?
Gordon. The Browns decided no, they wouldn't want to have his contract be gone because he was going to go to the CFL.
Right. So he didn't go. So he's not going to the CFL. He's going to go be a car salesman instead.
Encyclopedia man, what the heck is going to be working with Chris Farley and David Spade and Tommy playing? That's good. I've seen that movie before.
That's freaking awesome. I love that. That's just freaking great, man. You know? That's just awesome.
Here's another thing from the NFL. As we know that tonight is the opening night, NFL concussions are down 13%. Dr. Richard Ellenbogen was working the sideline during a preseason game last month as an unaffiliated neurological consultant when a team's position coach asked him to look at a player who was showing signs of a possible concussion. Concussions have now gone down 13%, Jeff, and what's your thoughts about that?
I'm kind of torn, to tell you the truth. I'm kind of torn. I really don't know.
Well, you got to remember Roger Goodell, remember all the rules he says about how I want to make sure we can make it a safe NFL game. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why he wants to make it safe. So we don't see a lot of concussions during the NFL season of 2014.
Well, he's trying to fix it, but he's going at it at the wrong way, I think.
He sure is. Just like he finally did something to handle domestic violence. He's probably beginning to realize, okay, if I can handle domestic violence, then why don't I just try to figure out a way to take a stand on concussions?
Uh-oh, it looks like Adrian joined the league. Let's find out. I'm heading over there right now.
I'll have to take a look at myself. Adrian, I believe it. Many people in my state, let's see, West Virginia is getting concussions high school football. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why maybe it needs to be addressed by commissioners, by the NCAA college football. Wait till Gale Force 1 comes in.
Okay, Adrian is in the league too, kids. Adrian is in. He thinks he's going to win. Yeah, lots of luck with that, buddy.
Here's what NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said on ESPN Radio today, Jeff. Mike in the morning. He goes, quote, that the game is safer and better than it ever has been.
He's crazy. He's freaking nuts. I bet you if you go and compare how many concussions that's been going on just since Roger Goodell has taken over and injuries compared to all the years that Tagliabue was the commissioner.
Paul Tagliabue from 1989 to 06.
Yeah, I bet you Paul Tagliabue has less concussions and injuries than freaking Roger Goodell does, and he hasn't even been there as long, Roger Goodell.
I liked Paul Tagliabue. He really did. He was a great commissioner, did a great job. But Roger Goodell, since he has come into being NFL commissioner,
I think Roger Goodell is full of himself.
It's all about him, and all these new rule changes I have disagreed with. I know that you were in favor of the extra points. I'm still not happy about that. That show is getting worse day by day, Jeff. Frank Calino, saved them today.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, that's what Encyclopedia Man says. He goes that Mike is getting worse day by day, Jeff.
Well, I watched it and then I fell asleep about 4:30 this morning, so I didn't get to see the rest of the show.
How about this? The report also noted there were fewer ACL injuries in 2013 than 2012, and MCL injuries were almost the same. Miller said concerns about the new rules on defenseless receivers possibly leading to lower body hits and more leg-knee injuries didn't pan out statistically, at least in the first year. So that's why he's saying, let's make sure there's not a lot of injuries. It's down 13%. And ACL seems to be getting better. But according to Roger Goodell, he says the game is getting a lot safer and healthier and better for all.
Is Roger Goodell watching the same football we're watching?
Probably. Encyclopedia Man goes, the Jerry Jones of commissioners. I can agree with you there. That's a good one.
I mean, I don't know what he's watching, but there's been a lot of injuries. I don't know what the hell he's watching. Okay.
He must be, Roger Goodell must be dreaming.
All right. And for that, they didn't, was it the Washington Redskins? Yeah, it was Washington and Denver that game. They didn't suspend that dude that knocked Walker out of the game, right? He didn't get a suspension at all for that hit, right? Because the referees thought he hit him with his helmet, but he actually hit him with his shoulder, right?
Right.
And he didn't get a suspension or nothing, correct?
Correct.
So, Roger Goodell, you told him to hit with his shoulder. He hit him with his shoulder, and guess what he did? Still gave him a concussion. Fix the damn helmet.
That is correct, and that is so true, Jeff, because to him, with him thinking that he's doing a great job as commissioner, yeah, you're right, Encyclopedia Man. I'm going to still say that for him to say all this stuff, he's becoming another Jerry Jones, if you get my drift, because he thinks everything is going well for the NFL. It's moving in the right direction. He's fixing all the issues. He's finally addressed domestic violence. I disagree with that. I've been disgusted with him, even going back to the days when we had the replacement officials, and I'm sure you all remember what happened with how bad replacement officials were 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Hey, don't forget, this Saturday night, right, Sean? This Saturday night. This Saturday night. And from every Saturday night till the NFL season goes to the playoffs, we will be having our NFL show. That's right. Every Saturday night, starting this Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com, 1 hour NFL show where we will be doing our picks live on the show for all the Sunday games and the Monday game. Unfortunately, we can't do our picks for the Thursday games, but on Thursday, today's Thursday, we'll be making our pick today for today's game. And from now on, this Saturday night and every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sports World Radio, we'll be having our NFL show, making our picks, 1 hour show. We're going to have me, we're going to have Sean, we're going to have Nicholas, and we're going to have Frank on, and we're going to sneak Josh in every now and then as well. We're going to do it quick and fast, no commercials, no nothing. We're going to be coming straight at you hard and quick. It's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday nights, so join us every Saturday night. 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com and in our chat room on Spreaker. All right, Sean. Hey, and you know what? On that note, we're going to run our next commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
NFL Real Talk.
NFL Real Talk? No.
Sports World Radio. Just
That's
kidding.
Saturday.
Sports World Radio.
That's right.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hey, everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. You live in the Central.
Figure it out for yourself.
Holy Toledo, Batman. Check that out right there. All right, Sean, what do you got for me next?
33 minutes past the hour on this Thursday, the 4th of September, 2014. Adrian, no, feel free to always ask us sports questions. Here's what I'll get to a story, but how about this? He goes, since Ray Rice is out for 2 weeks due to his suspension, how do you think the Ravens do without him? I think they'll compete. I think they're going to be right there.
That's his team, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's his team, isn't it? He's a Baltimore Ravens fan, ain't he?
Yeah, I believe he is. How do you think they'll do in the 2 weeks without Ray Rice, Jeff, before I find another story?
Joe Flacco's going to have a lot of passing. Joe Flacco's going to be throwing the ball an awful lot. You know what I mean? He'll be throwing the ball an awful lot because Ray Rice ain't there. And personally, I think Ray Rice should have got more than a 2-game suspension. But that's neither here nor there.
I think the Ravens will be fine, Adrian. I think they're going to it's going to be – if you look at the AFC North, Jeff and I, we did our picks on the AFC North. We know it's going to be a 3-team race, and that's the way we look at it. The Browns won't even be there.
Well,
we know they're – Browns are finished.
You think it's going to be a 3-team race. I personally think it's going to be a 2-team race between Cincinnati and Baltimore.
Well, I won't rule out Pittsburgh, but
you hear that, Wes?
Why. I still think they may have a chance. We'll see. But I know you want it to be 2 teams just to get Wes upset.
You hear that, Wes? It's just I don't think Pittsburgh's got. I think it's going to be Baltimore and Cincinnati, or Cincinnati and Baltimore. Pittsburgh's not even going to finish. I bet you Pittsburgh don't even finish 3rd in that division. They finish 4th.
But the biggest question: the Bengals make the playoffs. We're going to be wondering. Can they get the monkey off their back? Can they just end that playoff drought because they haven't won a playoff game since January of 1991?
How great!
That's a long drought, 23 years.
How great would it be if the Cleveland Browns have a better record than the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I had a feeling you were going to say that because the Steelers finish in last place and then West goes into mourning.
How great would that be? The Pittsburgh Pirates don't make the playoffs, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't make the playoffs, and the Pittsburgh Penguins don't make the playoffs. You're having a crappy year in Pittsburgh, ain't you there, Wes?
Wes is going to be in mourning.
You're having a crappy year in Pittsburgh, ain't you, Wes?
Their issue will be their offensive line going against that vicious D line from Cincinnati. That's a good point there, Encyclopedia Man.
I can't wait to watch that. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I would like to see Cleveland flip-flop, but what are you going to do? Their backup running back, Bernard Pierce, is great, but I don't know how ready he will be. Adrian, I'm telling you, watch the stats for the first 2 weeks for Joe Flacco passing compared to how many yards they rush for. And then do the first 2 weeks that Ray Rice is back and look how many passing yards Flacco has compared to how many rushing yards they have.
Adrian, buddy, the way I look at it with your Ravens is this. Not your Ravens, but since you're a big Baltimore Raven fan. They get off to a 2-0 start, they'll be fine. They go 1-1, they'll be fine. They go 0-2, then there's definite concern coming from Baltimore, Maryland, and then there people will be wondering, well, why aren't the Ravens doing their part? And people probably be saying, probably got to be because Ray Rice was gone because he got suspended for 2 games. And Adrian goes, if the Steelers have a worse record than Cleveland, then that would be the best season ever. You're lucky Wes isn't here, Adrian.
Wes is probably here. He's listening because he says he listens every day. I guess I didn't provoke him enough to start typing in the room yet.
Yeah.
I thought me saying Cleveland. I'd like to see Cleveland have a better record than Pittsburgh. That would get him to type in the room, but obviously it didn't.
Yeah, he went pretty quiet last year. He was all happy because the Pirates made the playoffs, then Pittsburgh lost in 5, then you never heard from anything else from him.
Hey, Wes is in the Pick'em League. Okay, let me tell you who's in the Pick'em League. I'm in there. I believe Andrew is in there. Nick is in there. Josh is in there. Renegade is back. Gary is back, one arm. Mustang Dan is in the house. And Schmedley, of course, the returning champ, Ebo. Indy Hawks, I believe, is Scott's team. Attitude Adjusted, Double A is in there. The Grape Ape, I believe, is Double A's friend. Kenny's in the house. Wes is there. Gio is in. Frank is in. Pick 'em like the wind. That's a great name, Frank. And we're going to have Frank on in the second hour of the show. Stoner Bob is back to play with us. Speed Nick 22. That's my good friend Nicky. And, of course, Adrian. So we got a nice bunch of people. Nice bunch of people hanging out with us.
Big chubby wind at yahoo.com. Encyclopedia man, that got me on the floor laughing, and you had Jeff laughing hard when he came up with that email address.
Big chubby wind at yahoo.com. That is a great email address. I wish I should have taken that, man.
Oh, that was hysterical. Jeff and I were laughing so hard.
Browning bastard. Browning bastard, you rat bastard, where the hell have you been?
Browning, are you? Oh, he is here. And hey, Browning, are you in the NFL Pick'em?
Yes, he is. I believe he is. I believe, because he goes around now. He calls himself Rat Bastard. There's somebody in there, Rat Bastard 88. And when I saw that, I said, "Oh, look, Browning Bastard's playing." So I believe that's Browning Bastard.
Look, probably Browning is probably saying that he didn't want to talk to anybody after what happened with the transactions and with LeBron James leaving. Yeah, look. How about them Heat? And he's probably, I am. That's probably the reason why.
He's been in mourning since LeBron James
Hey, Browning,
left.
are you going to go for LeBron now that he's in Cleveland, or are you going to still stick with your Heat there, buddy?
He's been in mourning since LeBron James left.
Speaking of NBA, the next story we get to 40 minutes past the hour. Charles Barkley blames his rift with Michael Jordan on his criticism of the former Charlotte Bobcats.
Oh, God.
How about this? Basketball Hall of Famers Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan have a decades-long friendship that is probably the most documented and detailed in NBA history. Sure, you had Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. They had their good times toward the end, back in the 60s. And then, of course, you had Larry Bird and Magic Johnson back in the 80s. Have had their books and even documentaries created around their relationship. But both of those adversaries spent the bulk of their basketball careers warily regarding one another. Even Magic and Isaiah Thomas had famously pecked each other on the cheek at the 1988 and 1989 NBA Finals, had a falling out in the early 90s. Michael and Charles may not have completely fallen out, but as you'll see in the interview above with Yahoo Sports' Graham Singer, it appears as if Jordan and Barkley aren't on the easiest terms in the wake of continued Barkley's criticism about Jordan's work with the former Charlotte Bobcats. I do notice that. If you all seen about what's happened, how Charles Barkley has pretty much just pointed out and said that he has criticized Jordan. I've seen it on Inside the NBA. He's criticized him about it. He and Jordan had the big respect when they were NBA players, but not so much since Jordan bought the Charlotte Bobcats. What's your take, Jeff?
Charles Barkley's a moron.
You can't stand him. Every time you watch Inside the NBA, you can't stand him.
And he's jealous of Michael Jordan. And that's what it is. And that's all it is. And if he says anything different, I call him a liar.
You call Charles Barkley a liar?
Yeah, because if he's not because he's jealous of Michael Jordan, he just won't admit it.
Barkley is probably correct in his estimation. Jordan is, shall we say, a noted competitor.
You notice how you don't hear Jordan saying anything, right?
Jordan's pretty quiet. No, he doesn't say one thing at all. He doesn't want to get involved with the drama that Charles Barkley is creating.
You said it right there in a nutshell, that Charles Barkley has created. It's all in his mind.
That's right.
Charles Barkley is a moron.
His analyst skills are as bad as his golf skills are. I would agree with that, Encyclopedia Man. I've seen on ESPN how Charles Barkley golfs.
He doesn't golf worth the crap.
Charles Barkley
His
golfs.
analyst skills stink. Okay, he doesn't. I wish I could. Do him, because he's just a complete. You know who he reminds me of every time I hear him talking?
What?
A stoner. That's what he sounds like every time he's talking.
And you know that he sometimes gets tired toward the
Yeah. How do you fall asleep on TV, dude?
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
How do you fall asleep on your show?
Charles Barkley probably realizes and states that since he's on inside
God.
the NBA, he's probably all tired. Well, drink some coffee. Find ways to keep yourself awake because you know it's a doubleheader.
Uh-oh. The big wind is in the house. I knew I smelled something.
You betcha we will, Adrian. We're going to be talking with Frank Sprinkle about.
Yeah, we're gonna bring
tonight.
Frank in. The game don't start till what? 5:30?
8:30 p.m. Eastern
No,
Time.
I live in the
5:30
West.
p.m. Pacific.
I live in the West. It starts at 5:30 my freaking time, you jackass. All right.
But Jeff, you're so sick of Charles Barkley.
I
You
can't
get so
stand
tired
him.
of him throughout
I
the
can't
whole
stand
NBA
him.
season.
I do not watch the TNT stuff because he's a moron.
He thinks that he thinks he knows more than everybody else when it comes to NBA. And now with him getting on MJ, his friend, about him owning the Charlotte Bobcats, please.
I would like to sit down with him and just rip him a new asshole.
Barkley would
just
probably
like I
say,
would-
"Bring it, Escal, bring it."
Just like I'd like to do to Skip Bayless. Do you know how close? Before we run to our first update, I came last night to buying IHateSkipBayless.com.
Very
you
close.
know how I want to dedicate a whole website just to how much Skip Bayless is a moron. And I want to buy a website, call it IHateSkipBayless.com, and put it out there and piss him off enough to come on the radio show. Because I want him on my radio show. I want him on the air. I want to debate him for hours, and I want Frank and Nick to be the judges because they're the only two that would be impartial.
I just sit there and get a laugh and enjoy
And
it.
Josh
too.
and
He
Sean-
goes, I'd update the website for you, buddy. That's what Encyclopedia Man adds.
And Josh and Sean could just kick back and laugh the laugh of the laugh and watch me do my thing.
He says, "Do it, Jeff. Make the site."
It would be an homage to how much I hate him, and it would be awesome. It would be freaking hysterical. I came that close last night. That close. Hey, we're going to run to our first update of the day. This update is brought to you by shirtshopper.net. Now listen, guys. NFL season is today. It starts in a couple of hours. You want to support your team? You want to show support for your team, right? Head on over to shirtshopper.net. On the sports tab, just put your cursor over it. The drop-down box will come. Click on the NFL. Click your team and get your T-shirt today. Get your favorite NFL T-shirt today from shirtshopper.net. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, everybody. Welcome to Sports World Radio's first update. We're 46 minutes past the hour, September 4th, 2014, Thursday. We're starting in Major League Baseball tonight. Games in the American League. Tonight, interleague play. The Reds taking on the red-hot Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles' magic number, it's getting there. They have a ways to go to clinch the American League East for the first time in 17 years. Back in 1997, the O's 81-57, an incredible story. Another big matchup tonight, it'll be the Tigers taking on the Indians tonight. Detroit leads the Seattle Mariners by 1 game for the second spot, American League wildcard. Indians, of course, are sitting 5 games back of the Tigers for that second spot. Tonight, the Red Sox look to play spoiler tonight as they will take on the Yankees tonight, and the Yankees know that they are sitting 5 games back. And, of course, rumors are today that Brian Cashman's job is safe for the time being. No word yet after the season if he will be let go as Yankees general manager. Another big game tonight, a team that's also trying to keep their hopes alive in the playoffs. The Blue Jays taking on the Rays, who are now sitting a total of 9 games back at Detroit for that second American League wildcard spot. The Mariners, who are sitting a game behind Detroit, they're taking on the Rangers tonight. The Angels, who are leading the American League West and have been on fire of late, they're taking on the Minnesota Twins tonight in Minneapolis, Minnesota. In the National League, there are 2 games for tonight. It'll be the Cardinals taking on the Brewers and the Diamondbacks taking on the Padres. In the NFL, it is back. Tonight is opening night of the NFL season. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks will be, of course, raising their banner to the rafters, getting their rings, celebrating because of what they did last year. But now they're ready to put that to bed and realize it's time to focus on 2014 NFL season. And speaking of which, too, a little bit of note, everybody. The last time the Seahawks played the Packers was 2 years ago when a call that gave the team, the Seahawks, the win, and it really, really hurt the Packers bad, and that was when they had the replacement officials. What will we see tonight on NBC? That is the update for Sports World Radio. Update was brought to you by ShirtShopper.net. NFL season is here. Make sure you can get your shirt for your favorite NFL team at ShirtShopper.net. When we come back from the commercial break, we've got more sports talk. And at the top of the hour, we got Frank Sprankle coming in to give his sports perspective.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, taking you on a 2-hour sports journey each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. in the East, 3 p.m. in the West, and if you live in the Central.
Figure it out for yourself.
Coming up in the second hour of the show, when we come back from break in the top of the hour, we'll have the big wind with us, Frank Sprankle, coming on in, talk to us about NFL and some good sports stuff. Don't forget, you still have about an hour and a half to get into our NFL Pick'em group. If you want to join and you haven't joined, just head on over to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Pinned right at the top of the page is the instructions on how to get involved in our NFL Pick'em group. Hurry up. Got to get your picks in before kickoff, so hurry up and get in. If you missed the first game today, that's okay. You can still get in, and you'll only be 1 point down from everybody else. And the people who pick the loser team, you won't be down that many points. So get on in. All right, Sean, what do you got for me, you rat bastard?
Before we bring Frank in at the top of the hour, the next one that we get to is we're talking more about basketball. We get away from Jordan and drama king Barkley. The U.S. tops Ukraine to finish the Basketball World Cup. And, Jeff, I wanted to ask you, since you're the big basketball fan, did you watch a lot of the World Cup?
Yes.
Group?
Of course, it's basketball. Of course, it's basketball. That's a stupid question.
I wasn't sure. I was just asking.
That's a
the bags were already
stupid question.
packed, and the Americans had already checked out of their rooms.
That's a Not only I'm watching women's basketball, I'm watching the WNBA. That's a stupid question.
Well, you're ready because basketball's coming up next month. You got NBA, you got the preseason, you got the Knicks coming up, and then, of course, NCAA college basketball's coming up, too.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. It's going to be lots of fun.
Great job by the United States. They beat the world's group on 95-71 Thursday at the Basketball World Cup. Once that was over, the Americans could truly turn their attention where they wanted it. So
they're killing everybody, man. They're killing everybody.
Yep.
Look at Dr. Myth. Wait, what, Jeff? Is watching the WNBA? You bored? It's basketball, dude. I'm a basketball guy. I even watch college women's basketball, dude. I'm a basketball guy. I like basketball. You want to know something? I hate to tell you something, Dr. Myth. Watching women's basketball is the purest form of basketball there is.
Because then Jeff knows that he doesn't care much for baseball, and that when the NBA Finals gets over, he can start saying, well, next I'll start focusing on the summer camp that they have for the NBA, and then I'll be able to watch.
I watched a lot of that, man. I watched a lot of summer camp basketball. Are you kidding me? I love that stuff. It's basketball, man.
Anthony Davis, he finished with 12 points for the Americans, will now face Mexico on Saturday night.
They're going to blow everybody
in the round
away.
of 16.
They're going to blow everybody away. Are you kidding me? Come on. It's not even a contest.
The only scare was a hard landing by starting guard Kyrie Irvin with 1:12.
Whoa.
But he eventually got up and walked off holding his lower back. Coach Mike Krzyzewski said the Cleveland Cavaliers All-Star was expected to be all right.
Oh. LeBron's having a little moment right there. LeBron had a little moment.
When basketball gets over, all the players will report back to their teams and get themselves ready for NBA training camp as the preseason starts on October 6th, I believe it is. Yes.
Man, Adrian really digs his Baltimore Ravens, doesn't he?
He's a diehard Ravens fan. Do you think Baltimore has a chance to get to the Super Bowl this year?
No.
I don't know.
No. We didn't give our predictions for Super Bowls, did we?
No, I figured we kind of would save that when Frank got in, hear his perspective.
Okay, we'll do that when Frank comes in. The three of us, I'll pick our Super Bowl winners, our Super Bowl teams, and our winner, I guess, huh? I have a feeling I already know who you're putting in the Super Bowl.
You probably know who I'm going to put.
Yeah, I know. In fact, I almost know both teams you're putting in the Super Bowl, which is really going to piss me off if you do it.
Encyclopedia Man, he goes, the Bleacher Report, the NBA 2K LeBron James Homecoming remix will get Cavaliers fans hyped. All this talk about the Cavs continues on and on, Jeff.
They're bandwagon Cavalier fans. That's what they are. They are not true Cavalier fans, because if they were true Cavalier fans, they still would have been with their team when LeBron was in Miami. But now that LeBron's back, all of a sudden I'm a Cavalier fan again. Get the hell out of here, will you?
And wherever he goes, they'll follow him, because now he goes back to Cleveland. They'll say, all right, let's throw our LeBron James jerseys from Miami out, and let's buy our Cleveland LeBron James jerseys.
Yeah, what about all those people that burn LeBron's jerseys? Are they buying new ones?
Probably.
You bandwagon fans.
They burned him. The minute he left and he went to Miami 4 years ago, Cavalier fans were burning LeBron James jerseys. Now, 4 years later, Cav fans say, we forgive you.
Is that
now we'll buy ourselves Cavalier jerseys.
Is that not the definition of a bandwagon fan?
Absolutely.
Is that not the definition of a bandwagon fan? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? The
No,
city
you're
of
not missing anything at all.
you people that criticized LeBron for leaving, burned his jersey, did whatever you people, whoever did what you did when he left, you should not be a Cleveland Cavaliers fan now. And if you are, you are a typical bandwagon fan. You're only there when it's for the good times, but you're not there for the bad.
Just wait until the first meeting in Miami for Christmas Day. The Cavaliers will play the Miami Heat on Christmas Day.
I'm not so much concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the Cavalier fans who burned jerseys, said bad things about LeBron, did this, did that, said this, said that, and now all of a sudden LeBron's back and everything's forgiven. Get the hell out of here! Bandwagon you fans! Yes, you are. Unstinking believable.
Adrian, good point. I can't believe LeBron is going to Cleveland. That is going to change everything. I hate LeBron, so I don't care. LOL. That's right. They burned his jersey. They burned it like his shoes. They threw everything out because they were all upset in Cleveland saying, "You left my team. I'm getting whine about it."
Yeah, so now those people that burned their shoes and their jerseys are all pissed off because they lost a crap load of money.
And pants
because
and
he's
LeBron
back.
this and LeBron that.
Yeah, those people that burned all this stuff lost a crap load of money because now he's back. Ha ha, dumbasses.
And before we run to our commercial break, here's another thing that you got to remember from Twitter back in July. When the announcement was made that LeBron was going back to Cleveland, Dan Gilbert's son said, "LeBron is coming back. Can I wear LeBron's jersey, Daddy?" And Dan Gilbert says, "Yes, you can," on his Twitter.
Unstinking believable. How come nobody else sees this but us? or you know what it is? Nobody else says the truth the way we do. That's what it is.
Unlike Skip Bayless, who says, "I know everything.
You know
My
nothing.
Cavs are going to win the
Cavs.
finals next year."
Yeah. Yeah. I hope LeBron gets hurt and they don't make the freaking playoffs. So much for your Cavs, you jackass. On that note, I hate Skip Bayless so much. On that note, we're going to run to a top of our break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Showman on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio, second hour of the 2-hour show. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and of course, always coming in the second hour of Tuesdays and Thursdays show, our good friend, the Big Wind, Frank Sprankle. What's going on there, buddy?
Well, all I can say to the both of you is Happy New Year on the front that the NFL season at long last kicks off. I mean, think about it. Since Super Bowl 48, just 7 months ago now, we've had obviously the combine and the draft and the mini camps, and we've had training camp and the boring preseason games come week 3, at least in our minds. Now at last, the dress rehearsals are over. The Green Bay Packers, the Seattle Seahawks as defending Super Bowl champions, slated to kick it off in an hour and a half.
Since 2002, this has been kind of the tradition of opening the NFL season between, like the first year they did it, it was between the Giants and the 49ers at the old Meadowlands, the old Meadowlands Stadium. 03, of course, it was the Jets and the Redskins. But now they've made the tradition that the team that wins the Super Bowl host the opening night game. And how about this? You know, I mentioned in the first update, Jeff and Frank, that the last time that the Seattle Seahawks hosted the Green Bay Packers, they had to talk about this today, that it was the Hail Mary game is what they call. And we all remember when the game-winning touchdown was ruled and that gave the Seahawks the win. We wonder how tonight's game will be between Seattle and Green Bay.
Don't you think there's a revenge factor here? 2 years ago, after the Green Bay Packers, and I'll admit this as a Chicago Bears fan, after the Green Bay Packers had what should have been a win taken away from them, and not to mention the Seattle Seahawks entering play tonight as Super Bowl champions. Sean, you mentioned it's always a week 1 tradition. They have the Super Bowl champions play.
Yep.
Not to mention in which is considered to be the loudest stadium in the NFL. There is nothing more than Aaron Rodgers and company wanting to go into the Pacific Northwest and shut these Seahawk fans up in the loudest stadium possible in the NFL. They want to say silencio por favor to CenturyLink Field when it's all said and done after 60 tonight.
Jeff, I was going to ask you your thoughts about it. Green Bay playing Seattle. We all remember what happened 2 years ago, and we saw arguably one of the worst calls in NFL history.
Let me say this, gentlemen. As far as the blown call, we know it led directly to the regular officials, the trusted officials of the National Football League returning. Now, as far as the replacements from a couple of years ago are concerned, I know, but hold on, Sean. Hold on. You can't necessarily fault them because, granted, they did make a lot of mistakes, but they were brought into a pressure-packed setting. They obviously had no idea how to brush up on the rules. The game is quick on the field. We know that. I will say this. These replacement officials did their best. In the end, you have to fault those that were responsible for the labor negotiations. Don't necessarily fault 2 years ago the replacement officials. Fault Roger Goodell as well as the officials for not coming to an agreement sooner.
If they had not, I know how you are, but ifs there, Jeff, but if they had not gotten to it and they kept the replacements, there would have been a lot more blown calls than that. And here's what Adrian says. He goes, Green Bay is going to lose bad tonight. LOL. Seattle have too much momentum. The Packers aren't going to be able to hold them back. And I kind of have to agree with you there. I think.
Hold on a second. What momentum do they have? It's the first game of the year.
Well, he's probably.
You're talking about national. Listen, you're talking about the only game of the night. You're talking about the much anticipated. Listen, I'll be honest, gentlemen. When it comes to regular season play, this is the one game that has the closest. Now, I'm not saying it rivals just this, but but it does have the closest mentality to a Super Bowl that you're going to have regular season wise.
Right, but there's no momentum. It's game one of the season.
And I understand after game one, I understand there's 15 more games for both teams down the road. I understand that. Or pardon me, 16 more games down the road for both teams. And one loss, look, maybe that won't do you much harm in the early going. But clearly, the Green Bay Packers, I honestly think there is more of a determination factor for the visiting Packers as opposed to the home and champion Seattle Seahawks.
Probably what he's getting at is he's probably saying Seattle's got the momentum because they're the defending Super Bowl champions. They're going to have the banner raising, and they're going to be at home tonight.
And Central Link.
Yeah, and they're going to have all the momentum tonight. And for the Packers to win, they're going to have to really hold off Pete Carroll's defense, because why did the Seahawks win it last year? It was very simple. They went into that Super Bowl as the underdogs, and nobody gave them a chance. They beat Denver and flattened them because they were able to put a blitz and put so much pressure on Peyton Manning. And that was one of the big reasons why the Seattle Seahawks did what they did last year, was winning the Super Bowl. But my question to all of you is this. With it being the start of the season, can the Seahawks repeat this year? Can they go to the Super Bowl?
To answer your question, Sean, yes, they are a young team. But if you look at the youth of this team, confined within the youth is a speed factor. I know I'm mentioning the word youth here constantly, but youth equals speed here. And I believe that seeing the Seahawks, and maybe I'm over-exaggerating here, but I did have a chance to see them against the Bears in the preseason game. And even Mark Trestman was quoted after the game as saying that the Seattle Seahawks are in mid-season form. Mm-hmm. I am a firm believer that the Seattle Seahawks can make a return trip to the Super Bowl. I believe they can be playing in Glendale come February 1st and once again be hoisting the NFL crown.
Jeff, what about you? What's your thoughts? Do you think the Seahawks have enough to get back to the Super Bowl and repeat this year?
Well, if any team can repeat, it's them. They're awful young.
They're young. They got Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, of course, who's got tremendous coaching experience.
You got to love the guy.
But you got
at all the stuff he did. You know, the only one year bad year was with the Jets, but he turned the Patriots around.
Then you got to remember something.
He took USC to the national championships, and then what he did with the Seahawks was incredible.
You got to remember something. A defensive end can come around the corner, hit him in the back, blindside him, boom, he falls down, done for the year.
Now,
and if that happens, guess what? Everything changes in Seattle, and they don't become the team to be picking anymore. It can happen like that.
Listen, gentlemen, there's one thing we have to look at, too, and this league, this NFL, is a no-guarantee league in the end, because the team that is bit heavily by the injury bug, that is a team that will falter in all probability. So for both teams, and for any team, too, the NFL is the one league in which you have to depend on the H word above all else, and that's health.
Correct. You have to stay healthy in the NFL. If you don't stay healthy, you might as well kiss your season goodbye.
Well, for some teams, you can say 4-12 because you weren't healthy. I don't think that'd be the case for the Seahawks or the Packers, but 4-12 for some teams because of the fact that you couldn't stay healthy.
Correct.
Now, on the other side, you move to the Green Bay Packers, and you got Mike McCarthy, who's the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, and you got Aaron Rodgers coming back and ready to go this season. What do we expect to see from the Packers tonight? What do you think they can do to maybe win the game?
Think that this game is going to be won on the defense side of the ball. Whoever has the better defense is going to win this game.
Okay, then coming in, Jeff, then you have to say, at least on paper, that's the Seattle Seahawks that have the better defense. But understand this. Why don't we look at the quarterback here? Why don't we look at the offense here? And you think of a guy such as Aaron Rodgers. This guy can drop 2 steps back under center. He can stay in the shotgun, and he can rifle it to his left, to his right, down the middle, where as opposed to the young Russell Wilson, this is a guy that can pass the ball. I'll say this, Rodgers is a better passer. However, Russell Wilson has proven over the last couple of years to really be efficient, but what can kill defenses with Russell Wilson as long as he's young, his legs.
No, I agree with you.
Okay, but let me ask you this, guys. Let me ask you this. I mean, you take a look at a quarterback such as Russell Wilson and look at a guy such as Aaron Rodgers right now. And Aaron Rodgers, I would like to say, is 31. He's going to be 31 this year if he's not already 31. If you look at a guy such as Russell Wilson, and I can't stress this enough for guys such as Wilson, for Colin Kaepernick, for RG3, these guys have to learn passing ability because they can depend on their legs right now. But once you get to beyond 30, like in Aaron Rodgers, you're not going to be able to have the luxury of your legs to carry the load for you.
Well, you look at this Packers team, and you think about how they'll be this season. This is a team that won the NFC North by a game over your Bears, Frank, or since you're the big
They
Bears
deserved
fan.
it. I will admit it. They deserved it more
But, you
than
know,
the
for
Bears.
them to be 8,
Absolutely.
But I knew when they were 8-7-1, I said, nah, with that team, they're not going to get to the Super Bowl. I said their defense is going to have to be strong for them. And then they lost to the San Francisco 49ers on that game-winning field goal. So we'll see how well the Packers look. Remember what we made in our picks a couple weeks ago? I even said that it was going to be a two-team race, that it's going to be the Packers and the Bears, or the Bears and the Packers battling it out in that NFC North division.
Oh, I believe it will be. I believe that the Bears will be up there. Now, the concern I have for the Bears, and it's not Jay Cutler. I'm going to be honest. I am a firm believer offensively. Jay Cutler, with his ability, with the weapons he has, as well as a pretty good running game in Matt Forte, I honestly believe the offense is good enough to take the Chicago Bears, my Chicago Bears, Josh's Chicago Bears, to a Super Bowl. However, football is three phases. They are lacking in defense. That has got to step up immensely. And, of course, there's some questions among special teams. Offensively, good enough to take you to a Super Bowl. As far as the other two phases, especially defense, I'll be honest. Got to be realistic here. I don't see the Bears playing in Glendale come February 1st.
That's right. And on that note, we got more sports talk. We're going to be making our pick for this game tonight. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Sports World Radio.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escobar Showman and the big win, Frank Sprankle Joins us each and every Tuesday and Thursday in the second half of the show. Our big NFL show today. We got one game on tonight. You still have time to join in our NFL Pick'em Pool. If you've liked our Facebook page, that's facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio, head on over there. And if you haven't, head on over there and like it. And then right there at the top of the first post, there's the instructions and all the info you need to join our NFL Pick'em group. Hurry up. NFL season starts today. You want to get in right away. Hey,
wait a minute. So how much time do they have left? Because, again, understand, we have kickoff in an hour and now 11 minutes.
Get up to 5 minutes before kickoff to make their pick.
So that would be, according to Seattle standards, 5:25 to make that pick.
Correct. Or 7:25 or 8:25.
Packers, Seahawks. Hey, could they choose ties? The NFL does have ties. Remember that.
Well, okay. When was the last one? Last year we had a game in the tie with Philadelphia,
Yeah, we did.
Right?
It was Washington and Green Bay.
Oh, Washington and Green Bay.
I remember the one year, too, Donovan McNabb, when he was with the Eagles, he I don't remember who they played, but it ended in a tie, and McNabb said, well, I didn't know the game could end in a tie. Remember that?
Yeah, how about that for knowing the rules? Way to go, dude.
I thought McNabb would have known that. I thought every player in the National Football League would know that, yes, a game technically could end in a tie. And this was during the sudden death era.
Right.
For our next story that we get to, Frank and Jeff, pretty simple. Tonight's pick, you know what? I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. I think tonight that they're going to be ready to play tonight. The crowd is going to be into it. They're going to be ready to rock. I like Seattle in this game. Jeff and Frank, this is our only pick. Who are you gentlemen picking for tonight's game?
You want to go first, sir, or should I go?
Doesn't really matter. I mean, it's kind of weird how you got two really good quarterbacks and everybody and their mother's picking Seattle.
I'm picking Seattle, too. Based on the defense, trust me, I believe that's the best defense in the NFL right now. On top of that, CenturyLink Field. CenturyLink Field, you just don't want to play it. Now, I'm not saying that this game is going to be a rout when the 60 full are complete after tonight. I'm going to say something along the lines of 31-21. It will be the Seahawks over the Packers.
And, Jeff, I take it you'll be going with the Seattle Seahawks, too?
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle, too. I mean, it's all, you got to go with the home team, don't you? Especially Seattle.
Not necessarily, but at this stage, I honestly think that the Seahawks are destined for a victory.
Well, especially in Seattle. If you got Seattle playing in Seattle, you got to take them because of the home field advantage.
Guys, you remember in the 2010 wild card game against the Saints? Remember what was it? Marshawn Lynch's run. Remember it drew an earthquake.
Yeah.
Remember that? I think that's the only time that I can recall in sports history that crowd noise has actually brought upon an earthquake.
Adrian, I have to get the other picks. Adrian, you said tonight you're going to be going with Seattle. Encyclopedia Man, wait for you to decide who you picking tonight.
He's going with Seattle too.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody and their mother's going with Seattle. Don't you look at the distribution? 83% to Seattle, 17% to Green Bay. What's the matter?
Okay, well, why don't we take a look at the cheese state? Why don't we look at Wisconsin, the land of cheese, beer, and brats? Huh? What are people in Wisconsin?
They're taking Green Bay.
I can imagine, because these people are obviously they want to see the Packers win.
That's where the
I don't blame them for wanting to see their home team win, but let's understand here. This is hostile territory for an opposing team. If you're an opposing team, quite honestly, when you enter CenturyLink Field, I consider it the equivalent of entering the gates of hell for the opposition.
Frank, if the game was in Green Bay, then I'd have to think about it a little bit more. But the game is in Seattle. It's a no freaking brainer. The only people that are rooting for Green Bay to win are the people that live in Wisconsin.
If you look at this matchup, though, you think about it, first time, of course, in 2 years that these two teams are playing, both have got the chance to be NFL playoff contenders. Most definitely Seattle. But, Frank, you are so right about it, because when you think about how an opposing team has to go up to Seattle and play, it's not easy.
No, you have to change your preparation.
Well, the only way an opposing team can beat the Seahawks is you got to make sure you study their defense very carefully, because if you don't, just like what we saw from the Super Bowl, Seattle The defensive line
Sean,
or the linebackers or safeties to figure out the offense real quickly.
Sean,
Seattle.
good point. Listen, Sean, good point about studying that defense. Yes, you have to study that defense. And quite honestly, that doesn't matter where you play, whether it's in CenturyLink Field or if the Seahawks are coming into your house to do battle with you. Here's the difference as opposed to playing the Seahawks in CenturyLink as opposed to playing them in your own house. When you play them in CenturyLink, you really have to get the snap count as best as you can. You have to work a silent snap count because obviously the noise is deafening. That's why it is a challenge for opposing team offenses here, because you can barely hear communication from the quarterback to the other members of the offensive line. And that's why you have to work on various techniques. You have to work on a silent count. Why do you think that CenturyLink Field, when it comes to the opposition, leads the league in false starts?
Because of the crowd noise.
Exactly. And that's where you have to prepare. That's where the extra preparation has got to come into being for the opposition. In this case, it's the Packers tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff and Frank, here's a big question I got to ask you both. Who is the biggest threat to the Seattle Seahawks this year, and who is the biggest threat to the Green Bay Packers? Two-part question to ask you both.
Oh, I'd have to say it's the quarterbacks.
No, for a team. I'm saying for the opposition. Who's a team out there?
For the opposition.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
okay,
for a team.
Okay, well, listen, we saw what Michael Crabtree did against Richard Sherman, or tried to do against Richard Sherman last year. I would have to say, hands down, the biggest threat that the Seattle Seahawks have is Richard Sherman, hands down.
49ers, right?
If the defense can't stop what's running back's name in Seattle?
Marshawn Lynch.
If they can't stop Lynch, the game is over.
Remember the guy? Remember his Skittles superstition?
Right. If they can't stop Lynch, you might as well forget about it, because if they can't stop Lynch, that's going to open up the passing game.
They got so many and much intimidation. I mean, just ask the 49ers last year in the NFC Championship game.
And with Percy Harvin back for a full season, forget about it.
I have to say that, again, we're going to see it like we saw it last year, that it's going to be a battle between the Seahawks and the 49ers in that NFC West. I disagree with what the Encyclopedia man had said about how the 49ers will be 6-10. No, San Francisco is going to be right there with Seattle, and it's going to be one heck of a division.
Even though I picked San Francisco better than I think they're going to be, I don't think so. I think San Francisco is going to falter this year.
What do you mean by falter? Are they going to falter beyond second place? Because listen, if you look at this NFC West, it doesn't matter what you have, but I think many people have either the Seahawks, 49ers first and second, or opposite, 49ers and then the Seahawks first and second.
Well, I falter meaning they could be 8-8.
Okay, well, hey, for all we know, they could be a third place team. I can't see them being last, but 8-8, that could possibly mean third place
and not making the playoffs.
Well, remember the Arizona Cardinals, they had a pretty good showing toward the end of the season last year.
Correct, and not making the playoffs. That could very well be. That could very well be. They got a lot of problems over there in Cisco. They've lost several players, haven't they?
And haven't they had distractions too?
And Colin Kaepernick might press a little bit and do things that he's not normally does, and throw several interceptions.
Okay, so you think with Kaepernick there's a maturity issue here?
Sure, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on him because they've lost a lot of guys. So he's going to feel a lot of pressure on himself because he's going to have to compete and step up and do better because they don't have the regular guys there. And that's going to force him to do bad things. So they could very well be 8-8, 6-10, 7-9.
6-10, 7. Wait, 6-10. That would be a surprise to me.
That's
now,
what Josh
granted,
has got
I can maybe see where you're coming from with the 8-8, but 6-10. Anything under 500.
Josh has got him at 6-10.
That's right.
Okay, and let me ask you this. Then, if that were to occur, 6-10. Finish the San Francisco 49ers, I honestly think that Jim Harbaugh is out of a job at the end of the season. That would bring pressure for 2015 on his half.
That was going to be my next question, Frank, that if the 49ers don't have a good record this year and they don't make the playoffs, would that mean the departure of Jim Harbaugh, with him possibly going maybe to Dallas to be the Cowboys head coach?
I don't think it would mean any pressure this year. However, if they're going to finish 6-10, then you better believe there is pressure on Jim Harbaugh. This guy is on the hot seat come 2015.
Well, if they go 6-10, they're going to fire him, and he's going to go to the Cowboys. Watch.
And then Adrian Peterson can go there, and then Jerry Jones will start saying, now I got my team that'll go to the Super Bowl, even if they don't do it.
Hey, what are the odds that Jason Garrett's actually fired somewhere mid-season?
Not mid-season.
Oh, you don't think it would be mid-season?
I'm gonna say after this season, Dallas doesn't get it done. They don't make the playoffs. They choke, and it ends in heartbreak. Frank, boom! You say goodbye to Jason Garrett, and then they'll bring Jim Harbaugh in. You just you watch.
I'm going to tell you the one coach, maybe more than Jason Garrett, that has more pressure than anybody, who could be fired in mid-season if the results aren't there, and that's Rex Ryan with the Jets.
Yes, I would absolutely.
Yes, I agree with you on that. I 100% agree. If they don't make the playoffs, he's gone.
No. Well, not make the playoffs. Okay, let's say after 8 games, they're 2-6 or 3-7.
You think they'll fire him?
Or 3-5, or 3-5. Pardon me. 2-6 or 3-5.
You think they'll fire him?
I think that's going to be unacceptable, and I think the Jets will make a coaching change. I think the Jets will make a coaching change before the season comes to an end.
Well, what happens if the Jets, real quickly before we go to our second and last update, what happens if the Jets were to be 4-4? Do you still think that a coaching move would be right there, or do you think Rex would be safe for the time being?
Safe for the time being. But it would depend on what the end of the season would mean. If they finish, Sean, 4-4 after 8 games played, I think there's job security pending they don't make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs at the end of the season, I think there's a new head coach for the New York Jets in 2015. Maybe Frank Sprinkle. I don't know.
yeah, but here's the thing. Because we've been saying it all along, Frank. When you and I have Skype, sometimes when we talk sports, you and I know perfectly well that, Rex Ryan's job is most definitely on the line this year. He doesn't get it done, you bet. He's going to be let go. And then Woody Johnson's out there looking for another head coach for the New York Jets.
Let go. He'll be let go. Like I said, after 8 games, if they're 2-6 or 3-5, I think he'll be let go midway through the season.
Because here's the big factor. Okay, they're already opening up their mouths. They're already saying that New England should be concerned about us, and they've been already having a belief that the Jets are going to be the team going down to Arizona to play for the Super Bowl. And I don't see that happening. I just don't.
And on that,
just
you know
taking
what?
a look at many of the Super Bowl predictions. Believe it or not, they do have the Denver Broncos going to Glendale for the second straight year.
Well, what do you expect? On that note, let's run to our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by Keurig.CoffeeMachines.com. Head on over to Keurig.CoffeeMachines.com. Looking for coffee? You need tea? You need a new coffee machine? Head on over to Keurig.CoffeeMachines.com and get it today. Brewing perfection, 1 cup at a time. That's KeurigCoffeeMachines.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the final update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 31 minutes past the hour on the 4th of September, Thursday, 2014. In the NFL, the game is back. Season starts tonight in an hour, and that will be the Packers taking on the Seattle Seahawks, the defending Super Bowl champions. Tonight, the Seahawks will have the banner raising, and the crowd will be loud. They'll be ready to rock and roll as the NFL season is back in full swing. And then Sunday, of course, we got lots of games, but we'll save that, of course, for Saturday night as we talk a lot about the upcoming NFL season. In Major League Baseball, here are the games that we got going on right now as we speak. In the American League, the Reds and the Orioles. How about the Orioles? They just don't stop, do they? 6 runs in the first inning. They lead 6-0 over the Reds right now. The Tigers, they strike for 4 runs in the top half of the first against the Indians. They have a 4-0 lead. David Ortiz continues to torch Yankee pitching, hitting a solo shot to put the Red Sox ahead 1-0 against the Yankees. The Blue Jays and the Rays, bottom of the second, no score down there in St. Petersburg, Florida. 2 other games that we have. We got the Mariners taking on the Rangers and the Angels taking on the Twins, who are leading the American League West, the Angels are. 2 other games in the National League for tonight. You got the Cardinals at the Brewers and the Diamondbacks taking on the Padres. In the NBA, of course, the big news, the World Cup is going on, and the United States continues to dominate. They just blow out Ukraine by a score of 95-71. After this World Cup is over, all NBA players will be returning back to their NBA organizations and getting themselves prepared for training camp. Because guess what? The upcoming NBA season starts in late October of next month. That is the update for Sports World Radio. Update was brought to you by KeuigCoffeeMachines.com. When we come back from the commercial, more sports talk with Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, and Frank Sprankle.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howells stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio with Jeff Eskow, Showman, and the big wind, Frank Sprankle. We were having a nice conversation during the break while you guys were listening to the commercials, of course, and Frank said he wanted to talk about something, and we told Frank he already talked about it, but we're going to do it again. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody, you still have an hour, a little under an hour, to sign up for our NFL Pick'em group. Head on over to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. The top post has all the directions, all the info to join our NFL Pick'em group. Hurry up and do it today so you can get on in the first game. If you missed the first game, it's no big deal, but just do it so you can get in. There's some great prizes going to be coming at you. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. Okay, so Frank, Josh Gordon is taking a job because he can't play football this season. He's going to be a Goodwill ambassador and a car salesman for Sawanoka, Ohio car place.
You know what's odd about this? Think about this. You do have players in the National Football League as well as all sports that besides their playing career, they will also venture out into businesses. They will own restaurants, clubs, and car dealerships. There are players in all leagues that do own car dealerships themselves, or they're at least part of an ownership of car dealerships. Or there are those that sell cars on television as professional athletes. But I got to tell you, Josh Gordon, this one really takes the cake here, because obviously he's suspended for the league. Well, he's suspended for the season. So he's going to be selling used cars, which I don't know. What was the dealership of it?
The name of it, I got it.
The name of it's called the Sarconian or the Sarchonian Auto Group in Ohio. He's going to be a Goodwill ambassador and a part-time floor salesman.
Boy, how many people are going to buy their cars from that?
That's what I said.
Now?
That's what I said when we talked about it
Dude,
earlier. How many people are going to
okay,
go there just to buy a car from him?
No Josh Gordon autograph policy.
Yes, no.
You can buy a car from him, but you can't get his autograph.
No, you can't. You have to, because he's got to sign the paperwork too.
Oh, okay, so the autograph's there. Okay, but no footballs, no jerseys.
Bull crap. Bull crap. If I'm him, I'm charging $10 an autograph.
Oh, okay. So
here's the funny part.
No, wait. I think the dealership should not be allowed to have him sign autographs, even if they charge him. Seriously, if they say, listen, if Josh Gordon is solidified with having to sell jerseys,
okay, I'll tell you what.
Working, that is unacceptable.
I'll tell you what, Frank. The only way you get an autograph is if you buy a car from him.
Hey, that's not bad. But if anything else, unacceptable.
Correct. You have to buy a car from him to get an autograph.
All right, but let's say somebody brings a Josh Gordon jersey to the dealership.
No.
Oh, and by the way, everything's signed, sealed, and delivered. Oh, and by the way, Josh, could you sign I have one thing here. Here's your jersey. Could you sign it for me?
That's great, dude.
How about this?
Go ahead.
Part of the story says, and Jeff Frank, what's next? San Francisco outside linebacker Aldon Smith working as a TSA agent while he serves his 9-game ban? Or how about this? Denver wide receiver Wes Welker writing for, quote, the Daily Racing Form while he sits out 4 games. That's pretty funny stuff when they ask that. What's next?
Well, I don't know. That'll be interesting. I'm still shocked with the Welker suspension.
Well, here, this is what they're saying. So this is what's going to be happening. He's going to do a lot of local work. He's going to be heading to Sarconian's local community efforts, including with the Wounded Warrior Project. Maybe it would be good for him to have a real job to appreciate what he's missing in the NFL lifestyle. So he's going to be working a lot in the community as well.
Well, here's the thing. All right, let's say a player is suspended for a season. Now, I'm not talking about an X number of games such as Wes Welker here, but I'm talking about a season. I can't see the NFL making you go out and get a job. You can't do that.
Why not?
Because if you don't get a job, then you're the one that suffers financially. The NFL shouldn't. You know the rules.
Well, no, that's why he went out and got a job, because he's not going to be paid for this year. So he had to go get some money somehow.
LOL, that's funny by Adrian. He goes, I would just go there to get his autograph, and I'm not even a fan.
What's the sound?
Wait, so hold on.
Hold on, what's
funny, Adrian?
You take a test drive from a car that Josh Gordon is trying to sell you, and all of a sudden you bring a football and a jersey and said, no, I don't like the car. Oh, by the way, Josh, here, could you sign this and that for me?
No, you can only get his autograph if you buy a car from him.
You know there's going to be people are going to be trying to do that.
You can only get an autograph if you sign a car, and it can't be on a football or a jersey.
Adrian, is
that the policy? Wait, is that their policy?
Policy. No, that should be the policy.
I agree, but it isn't the policy, at least that we know of. So how do we know this isn't going to happen where somebody comes in for a test drive? They're not really going to buy the car. They're just doing it to meet and greet Josh Gordon and hoping that you'll sign my football or my Josh Gordon jersey.
Okay, let me explain something to you. Okay? The key word is part-time salesman. Part-time salesman. So they're not going to know when he's in there as the part-time salesman. He's going to be the goodwill ambassador, which means most of his duties are going to be in the community.
Okay, but no autographs. That would be the dealership's policy.
How do you know? Maybe they want autographs to get people in there. Once you get them in there, you never know what's going to happen. Correct?
Well, perhaps here, but let me
Okay,
ask
then.
you this. As far as Josh Gordon and him doing the marijuana, will he be consuming this now with
I don't think
dealership?
I don't think he can because he's going to be tested while he's off for the whole year.
Frank, you can't even help yourself laughing because you find this a pretty funny story.
I find this hilarious, actually. this is something. I'll tell you what, Josh. Yeah, dude, you laugh harder than I am. One thing about me is I can keep my composure like a guy you were talking about earlier, Charles Barkley, who, by the way, I admire greatly because of the fact that he'll say, dude, Charles Barkley will say anything, and he can give a what you think. And quite honestly, that's how I model myself
He's
after.
a moron.
I'm going to say whatever I want, and whatever you think, I could give a beaver's damn.
I'm still waiting for him to say something intelligent.
Intelligent?
Yeah,
oh, he
he's
said a lot of things intelligent.
You know what? Wait
He's a
until
moron.
Jeff takes on both of them. Skip
He's a
Bayless and
moron.
Charles Barkley, 1 against 2. Oh, I
I'll
can't
take
wait
them
to
both
see
down.
that.
I'll take them both down at the same time, 2 against 1. I'll rip them both up.
I'll probably be like, bring it, Escal, bring it. We'll take you on. We'll see who comes out with the better debate.
It'll be me because both of you are morons. Both of you say stupid crap, okay? I say the truth. I say what the fans are thinking, but you don't realize that because you're
I
so.
try to. That's what I try
They're
to.
so
And I
far.
do
They
that
are
when I
so
say
far
about me
removed.
Not being biased. I am not a biased person. Here.
Frank, Skip Bayless and Charles Barkley are so far removed from what the fans think. They got no idea.
Well, I'll say this. All right, I will say this about Barkley that I guess I may have somewhat of a criticism on. One thing I will criticize Barkley on is that he is too much like Skip Bayless, a LeBron James butt kisser.
That's.
They do. Hold on. It's not. So it's not just me, right?
No,
Both
yeah,
Skip Bayless and
no,
Charles Barkley
it's
are the
ridiculous.
biggest kissers of rear when it comes to LeBron James.
You're on TV. Stop being PC and say what you think, you morons. Stop being robots.
Well, before we go to our last commercial break here, Frank, I have to ask you. When I was talking about
You
Charles
can ask
Barkley
me anything.
when I was talking with Jeff about Charles Barkley, how about how he has a dislike for MJ because Michael Jordan had to go buy the Charlotte Bobcats? Answer that. Yeah.
Let me ask you this about Michael Jordan. Take a look at what's happened. Wait a minute. They're the Charlotte Hornets now. Oh, by the way, I want to say this before we move on. Have you seen the Hornets uniforms?
No.
You got to check them out. I have. They are awesome. I mean, they brought back the teal. They brought back the vintage Charlotte Hornets look. The logo is not the same, the bumblebee, but it's a great logo. Also, the court. They've also shown the court. I like the court as well. You got to check it out for yourself.
It's got to be better.
Let me ask you this about Michael. Go ahead.
It's got to be better than the freaking Dolphins' new logo. That thing's disgusting.
Wait, what? Do we talk about the Miami Dolphins logo?
Miami's Dolphins logo is a little rainbow flaggish for me.
All right. Let me ask you this about Michael Jordan.
Hold on.
We know
Frank,
him as an owner. It hasn't quite worked out.
Frank, we got to run to break. Frank, we got to run to break. We can't get into
Let's talk about this coming back.
Exactly. Let's run to our final break of the day. You're listening to Jeff Escott, Showman, Frank Sprinkle on
Sports World Radio.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created the Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and the Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, the big win, Frank Sprankle, giving you 2 hours talk each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. in the East, 3 p.m. in the West. And if you live in the Central,
figure it out for yourself.
Sean beat him that time. Yeah.
We had an interesting conversation as we finish off the last segment about
we
how
did.
Jeff says he doesn't care about how 2 players, Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan, used to be in the NBA, can't settle easy issues.
I could give a flying fig Newton about them. They're both prima donnas.
Let's talk about Michael Jordan as an owner. Let me ask you this. Michael Jordan, when he was playing for the Chicago Bulls during the 1990s, was one of the most he was the most dedicated player the game had. You want to know why? Because the guy would not accept losing. Proof in the pudding. 6 NBA titles in 8 seasons.
I get that. I understand that. I get that. I understand that.
The point I want to make, though, does Michael Jordan believe he has anything to accomplish now, considering that the 1990s was his era of accomplishment?
I think
for Michael Jordan as owner of the Charlotte Hornets,
sucks.
Thank goodness they brought back the Hornets name.
He sucks as an owner.
I don't think there's anything Michael Jordan realizes there's anything more to accomplish these days.
He sucks as an owner. He's terrible at it.
And that's why Charles Barkley from inside the NBA continues to criticize Michael Jordan because of it.
But I still don't like Charles Barkley. I don't care if I agree with him or disagree with him. I don't like him at all.
Because I know, Jeff, how you feel about how Charles Barkley is usually falling asleep pretty much when inside the NBA rolls around after the doubleheader.
It's not only that. Okay, these guys make millions and millions and millions of dollars a year, and they still bitch and moan.
They have that right to bitch and moan.
They're making millions of dollars a year. Stop being a freaking prima donna.
Let
me ask you a question, Charles Barkley.
We got to be entitled to our own opinion, so there.
Let me ask you a question.
I would like to see you on Inside the NBA.
Let me ask you a question, Charles Barkley. Okay, both of you shut up for a second. Let me speak. Let me ask you a question, Charles Barkley. Would you rather go back to the way you were living before you were an NBA athlete or now? Because the way you were, and the reason why I ask you that, because the way you were living before you were an NBA athlete, you don't want to go back to that poverty and that crap, right? And the way you were really living and the way it really was in your real life, right? Because the way you're living now, you live like a prima freaking donna. Everything gets handed to you on a silver freaking platter, and it's disgusting.
All right, let me ask you this question. I get where you're coming from. Can you name me? All right, I want you to name me a few, if you can, Jeff. Can you name a few former professional athletes that have had greatness in which they don't get everything handed on a silver platter that is shoved up there? You know what? Name a few. Can you name a few here?
No, because every athlete gets everything handed to them on a silver platter, and they forget what life was before they became that athlete. That's the problem.
You become great, and guess what? Because you become great, you have now become a citizen on Easy Street, correct?
You know something? I'm going to give you a name, Tony Gwynn.
Well, yeah, look at Tony Gwynn. Okay, that's a great example.
Here's another name for you.
What does he do afterwards?
Here's another one for you, Cal Ripken. Oh, look, silence there. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
you
look
want
at
to know what
Gwynn.
Tony? What
God
Tony?
rest his soul.
What
he goes
Tony?
into coaching afterwards.
Exactly. He didn't go into professional coaching. He went back to college to help the kids, bring
Tony
something
Gwynn
back
have
to the
go into
kids.
coaching period, and it doesn't matter if it was college or in the MLB level.
He wanted to go to the college level to help the kids get ready for the MLB level. And
Okay,
you want to know
that
something?
Humility?
You want to know something? They wanted to give him a raise, and he told them no. That's being humble.
Amen. Amen. God
That's
rest
being
Tony
a-
Gwynn's soul. And
May-
yeah, Kel Ripken, yeah, to a point. Obviously, Kel Ripken
Hey,
as
Charles
well.
Barkley,
but more
you
so
can learn
Tony
from
Gwynn
that.
because of him deciding, look, Tony Gwynn could have become I'll be honest. Tony Gwynn could have been an MLB manager somewhere.
Tony Gwynn could have left the Padres and made millions and millions and millions of dollars that he missed because he stayed with the Padres.
Tony Gwynn could have managed the San Diego Padres.
Correct. But he didn't want to. He didn't want to, okay? That's being humble. Charles Barkley should learn from that.
Because he thinks that probably he has to be like Mr. Know-It-All with NBA and how he thinks that he knows everything than everybody else about basketball.
The difference between Charles Barkley and Tony Gwynn is Charles Barkley thinks he deserves it.
Hey,
That's
let's think
the
of some
difference.
other former great professional athletes. We could even say they're Hall of Famers. Actually, they should be Hall of Famers. Let's think of those that have had everything, a silver platter shoved up there. You know what? Can we think of any more? I'm trying to think.
LeBron James.
Who?
LeBron James.
I'm talking about retirement. I'm talking about retirement, though. All right, LeBron James, yeah. LeBron James, trust me, LeBron James will have it all once he retires, but that's not for quite a while.
It's just ridiculous. And you know who else I think believes like that too? Skip Bayless. I believe he thinks like that as well, and it's wrong.
Boy, it seems that half of this show has been the Skip Bayless bashing hour.
I can't stand him.
Well, Frank, what do you think of Skip Bayless? What's your thoughts about him?
I will say this about Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, and everybody else. The fact that they bring up their opinion in a precise way, I do have respect for the fact that they have an opinion. Now, you can disagree with that opinion. They can disagree with their opinions, but the fact that there is an opinion that they state, that's the one thing I have respect for.
Yeah, but if you state your opinion and ESPN don't agree with it, you get suspended for it.
Okay, but that's the thing, though. This goes beyond Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. I'll be honest. When it comes to corporate ESPN, then you have to question the respect factor. All right, and you know what? I don't care if I ever end up with ESPN for what I'm about to say, but as far as ESPN is concerned, and let's talk about Dan Le Batard here and the billboard with his own money.
I know.
This wasn't ESPN's money.
I agree.
If you don't agree with ESPN, then they'll have a problem with it in this PC age that we live in.
I guess they got a problem with us.
You will be not fired, but you will be suspended.
Like Stephen A. Smith, back around the comments he made about Ray Rice and domestic violence.
Yeah, I guess.
But why are we having these problems on ESPN?
I don't, because I guess ESPN
Is it sponsors? It's got to be sponsors.
No, it's because of Disney.
Oh, it's because of Mickey Mouse?
Disney owns ESPN.
I know Disney owns ESPN.
That's why. That's why.
So what? Is Mickey Mouse bitching at his high-pitched voice of the fact that he didn't appreciate comments that Stephen A. Smith made?
Yes. If they don't like your opinion, they suspend you. I'll tell you what. Come over here and speak your opinion. I won't suspend you.
Except for Skip Bayless.
If they don't like your freaking opinion, Skip Bayless, I'll never be allowed to speak on my radio show unless I'm allowed to debate his ass and prove him that he's a moron.
By the way, ESPN, I have a feeling that you're hoping ESPN Radio doesn't want to pick us up.
I would never go on ESPN Radio unless in my contract saying you cannot suspend me or fire me for my opinion.
That will never happen. I agree with you, Jeff. I absolutely agree with you there. I'm on your side, buddy. But in all probability, ESPN is not going to allow that to happen.
Screw them.
That's not going to come to fruition.
Then screw them. They're too politically correct anyway.
Oh, come on. Everybody's politically correct except us. I don't consider us to be politically correct. Listen, I don't consider you, Sean, to be politically correct. I don't consider you, Jeff, to be politically correct. I don't consider myself to be politically correct.
We tell
here.
it like it
but
is.
The problem is we have a lot of thin skin in this society. We don't have it extra thick like I do. It's all thin. And guess what?
I agree.
When somebody
all
says
thin.
when somebody says something that is insulting to another person, it's wee wee. Does anybody want to join me? Wee 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 wee.
No, I'm
wee,
with
wee,
you.
Wee wee wee.
I'm with you, Frank. I'm with you. That's why we do this show, because this is
My baby, I need my diaper changed.
We tell it like it is, and if you don't like it, change the freaking channel.
Absolutely. You know what? God bless us, gentlemen. We're great.
That's just the way it is.
Because we are no bias, and guess what? We're not going to insult anybody in terms of any threats. But you know what? We have to be truthful.
That's the way I like it here.
We're not going to make any threats. We're not going to hurt anybody.
No, but we're just going to dare you to do something, and if you don't do it, you're a wussy.
And another thing, too, you can say all that you want about us in a negative sense, and that won't bother any of us.
That don't
it won't
bother
me.
I don't give a flying fig Newton. Call me whatever the hell you want. I don't care.
Thick skin. I'm like, okay, you know what? There have been people that have fought and died for the right to say what you want about me, even if that means you hate my guts.
That's right. But don't be afraid if I come back at you 10 times fold. Don't be mad at me. If I come back at you 10 times fold, and you come at me, I'm coming at you, but I'm coming at you more hard than you came at me, so you better be ready for it. Because if you come at me, I'm coming at you. And I'm coming at you anyway.
Don't we have a football game to watch in a half hour?
We do. Let's get
31 minutes.
Let's get the flock out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. We had a lot of fun. Hope everybody enjoys the football game tonight. Remember, you still have time to get into our NFL pickup pool. Head on over to Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Like our page, join our Facebook group, and join our NFL group. Remember, on Saturday is our first NFL show of the season right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We will be back tomorrow for our regularly scheduled program, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central, and there it is.
I got it.
For Sean Man.
I got it.
For Sean Man, Frank Sprankle, I'm Jeff Escott. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Peace out, bitches.
Okay.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, kid. So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over.